Here you go. Now we're gonna go live. There we go. We're on, Tiny. Okay.
Welcome to PNN KEXU People's Revolutionary Radio on 96.1 FM on the dial in Oakland and streaming live online at www.pomagazine.org/radio. This is D, your co-host, formerly houseless, poet, and poverty scholar in the studio, and poet and formerly houseless poverty scholar, Tiny and Mutiara.
A-Tay. And then there was A-Tay hiding under a torn blanket every night and every day. He watches the bomberos, the congueros, and the capoeiras. But before that colonial blanket took his soul, he taught something or drummed something. He danced something. He loved one thing. Now his eyes only watch and see the hours and years he doesn't ever want to be, swept into rubble, believing the lie that because he is houseless, he is less than you or he. Yeah, this is PNN, not CNN. That's Poor People's Revolutionary Radio. And that poem went out to all of our relatives violently swept from yet another part of occupied Uchun. That's Northgate and Sycamore Street that we held an emergency press conference on the street with our relatives, demanding for the housing that the settler colonial government promised them, but instead swept them for the seventh time to nowhere. Mm-hmm. If you want to watch the coverage by PNN, that's Poor People's Media, you can go to Poor News Network on YouTube. You can lift up the work of all of us relatives trying to create actual poor people and homeless people solutions to homelessness. That this show is broadcasting live and direct from, that's called Homefulness, Wood Street Commons, Etna Street, Solidarity. The real poor people solutions, because poverty scholarship is created by us, for us, not about us, without us. So we are blessed to be here today on Black August, and I wanted to just lift up the fact that we have been away for a week and a half because we've had technical difficulties. This is Poor People's Radio. We doing our best, relatives, but we miss you and we love you, and we on the streets every day. Tonight we have a blessing to have one of our guests who we weren't able to bring you last week, who is doing big things in Black August, because it is Black August, and that's a sacred month, not so much a celebration, but a lifting of liberation. Welcome, Iodeli Wordslanger, back to Poor People's Radio.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. How you doing this afternoon?
Oh, we better now to hear you. Let's, first of all, if you could just tell us about this powerful work all of you badass artists and cultural workers are doing with BAMFest, what that even is, and what's going on that people have the blessing of even taking part in right now.
Well, sitting here repping BAM CDC, the Black Arts Movement Business District Community Development Corporation, a grassroots nonprofit dedicated to the animating of the Black Arts District that was declared in Oakland. And we're doing an event called BAM Fest. We've been doing this event since 2019. This is actually our 6th rendition of it. And if it sounds like we skipped a year, it's because there was no 2024. The festival has become so big until it is now an international biennial festival. So we do it every other year. We just closed down a 3-day film festival that screened over 40 films from across the diaspora um, in over 3 different venues. So we had films up at the Oakland African American Museum and Library. We had film up at Oak Stop, and we had film up at BAM House for 3 days. A lot of really cool stuff like Building with Fathers, free breakfast program, inspired by the Black Panther Party. In the morning, Saturday at Oak Stop with a big, big turnout. We ended the festival with a bunch of film that was all shot in Oakland or by Oakland artists or about Oakland. Important work like Oak Lead by Alex Bledsoe that talks about the problem with lead that we have right here in Oakland.
Mm.
Condition with lead in the water is actually more severe than it is in Flint, Michigan, but it's not talked about. So Alex made a documentary and she talked about it. So at the end of the month, some of those films will be being awarded out of the film festival, but that was just the beginning. We're going to be doing Two Trains Running by August Wilson. It previews this weekend, and we're going to have, in honor of the fact that it is a People's Month, we want to extend our making our work accessible even more than we normally extend ourselves. So we're having 4 preview shows this weekend where all tickets are $15. The show will run through the 31st of August. Regular ticket prices will kick in on the 15th when the show opens. So there's that full length run of an August Wilson play, Two Trains Running. Beautiful piece of work about urban renewal, displacement, oppression, land theft, and important conversations that are actually held in the play in 1965. And the things I just mentioned are things that are prevalent in today's. So Two Chains Running is a gentrification tale that you need to come down and talk back to. But there's all this work in the middle. Like tonight, there's a live streaming of Live from the Porch hosted by Zuhar Musa with Ali Jones, Lady Rev, and Damian V. Didn't I meet Lady Rev at a Homefulness event? I could have sworn
Yeah.
that I knew I did. Yeah, at the Holiday store, I met Lady Rev. There's also more film down at Oak Stop on the 14th. There'll be more film being screened. You need to go down there and see that. I got an album dropping. My second album is dropping on August 12th. Free event. Come through their Pours and Bites. No charge to get in. The vibes are free. The vinyl is for sale. So come on through. This is 31 days of events, y'all. So I could sit here and be riffing for a minute, There are virtual programs that are absolutely free that'll be rebroadcast. There are a few events that, like the play, where there's a nominal charge. There is a fantastic poetry event that'll be happening on the 26th called Six the Hard Way. It's got Don Black, me, and Tango Aysen Martin in one room together, along with Zuhar Musa and a couple of his young compatriots, and it's called Six the Hard Way. It should be a super hard show. Yeah, so literary events, theater. There's an installation up in the theater right now that's a Black artist visual installation that features the work of 4 Black artists. You need to come through. There are gallery hours, and like I said, it's 31 days of events. So if you really want to know what's happening, you'll run over to bamfest.com, and there is an event calendar, and you can check out the events for the entire 31 days. Once again, that's bamfest.com, like on the bottom of the graphic there, and it will give you a lineup of events, and we're really hoping to see folks in the house,
Ashe. I just want to, I know you don't have much time, but before you close out, if you could just let listeners who are not so conscious, not so aware, we have folks listening all across the Mama Earth, What is the significance of Black August, and how does that tie into the Black Arts Movement?
Black August is a political movement that was started inside the belly of the beast by incarcerated Black and brown men. It is now celebrated in a form of organized discipline, something similar to the practices that are practiced during Ramadan. There are things that you can do during Black August to help sharpen your awareness and your consciousness and your intention. There's a history that goes with Black August that goes back to George Jackson. There is a history contained within inside of Black August that deals with political prisoners like Baba Fati, who was just released. And we actually had the privilege of having him in the house on Sunday as we screened a piece of Black August footage that is almost all but disappeared, that
Mm,
was arranged by Mama Ayana. So it's a month of political demonstrations in a way. It is
mm,
a month of where political ideology is referred to and mined for what lessons it offers today in terms of movement work. And as an artist, I look at the fact that the Black Power movement and the Black arts movement held hands. And so, as an artist, I create the continuum of the Black arts movement. I tell you, there's no movement that doesn't have a companion arts movement that goes with it. So, the creation of art and the art we have curated for the month of August is art that inspires revolutionary thought, is a place that creates a space for people to do some mining of history, some connecting of dots, some expressing of opinions, some gathering and convening, some learning of history for younger folks who this is actually history for. It wasn't a part of their lived reality, connecting us across the generations, because some of this history that's so vital to us this moment is outside of the lived reality of some of the youngsters who currently attempt movement work. So
mm.
yeah, so it's a full table of mental groceries, from the literary to the visual art to dance and music. We have tried to exploit every art form that we had at our availability. And this is an international conversation. Kai Wigington will be from Texas, will be narrating a thing called When Spirit Talks. And this is one of the virtual offerings. It'll be available on the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, and the 31st. All new editions of this. And again, all of these rebroadcast. Marvin X has a podcast called Off the Record that'll be broadcast throughout August and then rebroadcast. Kat Brooks has a podcast called Cat and Off with Cat that'll be recorded, new episodes, four of them, all in August, and then re-recorded. And I have a podcast called The Bigger Picture, in which
Mm,
I'm talking to four different guest artists in the month of August.
mm.
So we got like I say, a full buffet for you.
Mm.
Ashe.
For
Well,
you,
that
I
I
want to bless you with a poem if you got the time.
please,
Yes.
I got
please,
this,
we
okay?
want that. Please,
Ins-
badass sister poet.
Inspired by that beautiful piece that you shared in the beginning. Very, very nice work. I want to share something from Sorrowland Oracle called Bag Life.
Mm,
The bags in carts on bikes over weary shoulders, bags that mark them as without, outside, unhoused wanderers carrying their lives in bags. Do they carry their important papers? Do they carry the warmer sweater when the sun beats down, remembering the promise of winter is always kept? Do they carry the last scraps of membership in society capitalist, or maybe their Sunday best in hopes of needing to be dressed up, ready to become one of those inside whose lives are not confined to bags, rather they are free
mm,
to consume more than they need, stepping over the unwashed on their way to inside? Do the unhoused carry their last Christmas warm with family, enabling backward glances at together once upon a now gone time? Do they carry the what ifs and why me's? Or were they left behind with changes of shoes, clean underwear, predictable tomorrows, and warm beds? Do they carry muted memories of a life without so much baggage? What do unhoused people carry in the bags?
Mm.
Do they carry mementos of unruly lives, their dreams of tomorrow shattered and broken down so they fit inside black plastic, stacked neatly in dirty bins, stacked beside tents under freeways, overpasses as passerbys pass on their way to their cozy inside spaces, far away from bag life?
Oh
Wow.
my God. You just brought the spirit of
Mm.
an elder we just lost. You
Mm.
just brought the spirit of Uncle Broken Cloud. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Ayodele. Oh.
Thank you, Ayodele.
All right, relatives, you heard the call. Go to BAMFest online and find out and soak up that beautiful, beautiful work. Thank you so much. We love you so much.
Thank you so, so much. You guys have a great day. Stay blessed.
Oh, Amadeo.
Thank you, Ayodele.
You are listening to PNN, not CNN. That's Poor People's Revolutionary Radio, right here, on live and direct from this small part of unpimped, unsold, unplayed, untold Mama Earth that we houseless people call homefulness.
It's Black August, y'all, and to celebrate that, we are unselling Mama Earth as homefulness and as well as lifting up the Black arts movement. We poets have poetry for this month. Here is something from my book, Skeletal Black, my fourth. From section 1, Poverty. Based on actual events from my own life, this is called Mr. Hard Time. One afternoon around my high school days, Grandma Lily took time away from sewing clothes and talk show on daytime TV to tell my little brother and me an important tale about a guest who often came uninvited. Hard to predict his moves. Being a teenage girl and young mother in the Great Depression of the 1930s, she already knew the guest personally, as did her sister Vivian, her daddy Lonnie, and Lucy, her mama. In those days, there wasn't one person standing in a bread line or begging the next brother for a thin dime who hadn't met Mr. Hard Time. If you have no bread in the bread box, no fresh or frozen food in the refrigerator, no boxed or canned food in the cupboard, no coins filling up the mason jar, no dollars filling your wallet, no way to pay the rent or clean your clothes, best believe that's when Mr. Hard Time comes for a house call, knocking at your door, counting on your despair, answering him. Let Mr. Hard Time in, and those hard times last longer.
Woo!
Right on, D.
Ooh.
Mr. Hard Time.
Can you show the book to the camera? This is from Poor Press book, Skeletal Black, that little camera right there, man. Pull it up. You can get this on poorpress.net. I would urge you to soak up all the liberation poetry of none other than poet D. Allen, author and warrior and land liberator at Homefulness. I'm here with my brothers, fellow poverty scholars and poets at Poor Magazine. Again, speaking to you live and direct from this small part of Mama Earth that we folks call Homefulness. It is Black August, and we're also cultural workers and poets. As I started the show with, we have been on the street, standing with our relatives every week in another emergency as they continue to sweep our bodies like we're trash. I want to shout out to our relatives in occupied Tavangar, LA, the beautiful relatives from Etna Street Solidarity and Reclaiming Our Homes. We love you, Carla and Anthony and Paisley and all of the beautiful warriors, Jelly, Rebecca, so many more who were violently swept from their home, from their community, that the system calls an encampment, but we know our communities. In this case, it was a space that we call the compound. People might have heard the corporate hater media talk about us without us, using terms like those people, and it was dangerous and all these other things. Yeah, who was dangerous? The sheriffs who came down with armed weapons of hate to predate. So I have a piece that's in honor of our relatives in the compound and also at the Sycamore Street. It's called Bulldozers and Backhoes. Bulldozers and backhoes, hefty bags, and all my wet clothes. My broken hearts, my broken limbs, and my broken toes. We hold on to whispers of love, even the smallest crumb of someone. I take a hit because I think my life has long ago stopped meaning-ish. But I grab a few things. I'm so done with all the things. They swept my home again today. And I'm so tired, I just looked up and said, take it away. To the Cracker King and his violent orders, get in line. Your dukes and gentry have taken everything from us, every home, every promise, all our living quarters. Are there any of us? There's none of us. Bulldozers and backhoes, relatives, and again, lifting up the liberation every day, because we know that the answer is not to keep sweeping us away.
Up next, we will be talking about the Unselling Mama Earth event this Sunday on Black August 10th.
Oh, my brothers here will join me in this reading of a sacred document, and I have to pull it up, family. So hold on 1 second. Okay, go ahead, mute. It's hold on a second. Okay. And Dee, if you can just say what this is, excerpt.
Excerpt from the Poe Magazine /Homefulness Mamafesto /People's Agreement 2025.
We understand and agree that we are stewards of the land. We, the landless, houseless, indigenous, poor peoples who launch homefulness.
And our children and children's children and generations beyond, who, thanks to homefulness, are now homeful, do not own Mama Earth. Some of us who live here own the land and never will. Signed the Elephant Council, the Living and Ancestral Elders Council, and the spirit peoples from all four corners of Mama Earth.
Oh, so you heard it, relatives. This is just an excerpt of the People's Agreement, the Mamafesto, this Sunday, Black August 10th. For those of you who are in the Bay Area and anywhere beyond, if you can make it up here, please do so for the sacred signing ceremony, where us poor and houseless people, in collaboration with First Peoples from the Ohlone Lishan Nation, shout out to Segorte Land Trust and other warriors, have created a settler legal document to unsell Mama Earth. Shout out to Sustainable Economies Law Center, who's worked tirelessly with us poor and houseless and indigenous peoples to create a document that codifies, that concretizes the unselling within a system that would rather buy and sell Mama Earth every day. But like I always say, if they stopped selling Mama Earth tomorrow, homelessness would go away. So this is all going to go down this Sunday, Black August 10th, right here at Homefulness, a homeless people's solution to homelessness. And we're going to have a prayer ceremony from all four corners of Mama Earth, food and love. And this is a collective commitment to Mama Earth and ancestors. And this day is in honor of all of our ancestors, but it's specifically in honor of Uncle Broken Cloud, who specifically wanted to be here for this ceremony, and he will be here. So we invite you to come in and take part in signing a commitment to Mama Earth to no longer sell her. Any comments or anything you want to throw in, Moot or Dee?
Well, just again, that we understand that as indigenous people, we don't own Mother Earth, that we belong to Mother Earth. And we know, that this concept of private property came, with the colonizers and the pilgrims that literally stole this land. And so what we're doing is a revolutionary act of actually not only acknowledging that we're on stolen land of the Ohlone people, at least in this territory, but we're also walking the talking that we're doing. It's not enough just to give land recognitions. It's not enough just to say this is Huchun. It's not enough to just call these places by the original names. This is a revolutionary act where Homefulness Port Magazine is literally taking homefulness after real snake speculator industry and giving it back to the rightfully owners, which is the First Nation of this land, the Ohlone people. Elder Corina Go, one of the chief of the Ohlone people here, the Confederate villages of Lajan. So yes, it's a revolutionary move, and again, come and be part of this history moment. And like my sister Tiny says, a mama festing, a different way of thinking, a different way of moving.
Oh, you want to add anything, Dee? No. I just want to say too, that if you're actually not owning Mama Earth, if you're living into that, if you're leaning into decommodifying and decapitalizing, that is the walk of decolonization. A lot of times that word is thrown around, and I think sometimes too easily. But how are you living into it?
Mm.
And again, as my brother said, and we always say, land acknowledgments, which a lot of folks do, a lot of organizations do now because it's sort of semi pseudo sexy or whatever, is just words. What are we doing in our lives to actually liberate and unsell Mama Earth? As poor and houseless people, we know that when we can't pay the lie of rent and we can't participate in a bloodstained dollar economy. So we have to live and lean into something. That's an actual solution. A shout out to our relatives at Wood Street Commons, and again, Esna Street Solidarity, and all the warriors who take part in the liberation and the walking of this move. And as Uncle Broken Cloud, let's go Ed on the move. I also want to just say before we close out that beautiful poem that you heard my brother D, poet, speak on was from the powerful movie Crushing Wheelchairs.
Yes.
I don't know if you could pull up that
sure
that flyer, but folks who don't know, we're doing benefit screenings of the trailer. We're actually going to have a benefit screening this Thursday night, which is Black August 7th, on the street at the site of one of the most violent sweeps in Uchun, which if folks don't know about, they need to know. Right there on East 12th and 16th Avenue, a community of hundreds of houseless relatives who had built housing, who had built community, and now no longer are there. And what happens when we're swept? Do you think we just die? Well, yeah, many of us do not make it. And a shout out to JT, who we lost in that sweep. But what we really do, as my mama said, is we move into the sidewalk motel. And you can't find us maybe because we're hiding from the next sweep. But the Crushing Wear Chillers movie, we say we're not acting, we're living. We're all houseless and formerly houseless folks lifting up the ancestral stories of removal, but we're also lifting up the ancestral and the living stories of survival. So come check it out this Thursday if you're free. There's going to be popcorn and candy. It's at 8 o'clock at 16th Avenue and East 12th Street. There's going to be prayer. There's going to be danza. There's going to be love. There's going to be food for our relatives on the street. This is a street for the street. And relatives from Wood Street Commons will be joining us as well. And if you can't make that, or you can make that, come on Sunday, Black August 10th at 1 p.m. All of these things you can find on poormagazine.org if you didn't get them. And we appreciate you and love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Also, just to say that, again, for the beautiful work of Iodeli and all of the folks that you heard her speak about, you can go to BAMFest on any search engine, BAMFEST, and find out more information.
So that's all for this broadcast of Po People's Radio. You can follow us on Facebook, X, or Instagram at Po Magazine, at Poverty Scholar, and Po News Network, and on YouTube. You can also get this complete Po People's Radio podcast with all the interviews and conversations, or any of our previously archived shows on Apple Music, Spotify, iHeart, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcast. All power to the people.
Oh, we love you and appreciate you.